Hey guys, welcome to AHAM. In this video, we are going to look at some very recent topic. It is natural farming. So recently, our finance minister, when she was presenting the budget, she came out and told that we'll be promoting a chemical-free natural farming. And there is a lot of uh, voices on both sides of the corner who say yes, this is the way forward, and while some say no, there are some issues that needs to be addressed. So this is an interesting topic for the today. So in this video, we look at why it was in the news, what is natural farming. And natural farming, usually people confuse it with organic farming, but we'll see what is the difference between organic farming and natural farming, and what are the challenges in adopting natural farming. And before that, if in the challenges in why we are pushing for natural farming, and finally what could be done and how we can move forward. So this is what we are going to see in this video. So in this budget, there were a lot of interesting announcements regarding agriculture, like promotion of Kisan drones for crop assessment, digitization of land records. Government is going to come up with a new startup scheme or startup fund, which will be housed in NABARD. Now that fund will be used to promote particularly agri startups and other startups who are doing value addition in the agriculture sector. So we'll look at that in some other video. So in this video, we are going to focus at natural farming. So this is the headlines here. So in her budget speech, Honorable Minister, she told, we'll be promoting natural farming, particularly in, first we will start with Ganga River, both the banks of the Ganga River on 5 kilometers on either sides. We will first start promoting natural farming. Later, we will scale it up across the country. Further, natural farming boost பண்றதுக்கு agriculture universities, they must still their syllabi அப்படின்னு போட்டிருக்காங்க. Later we will also see where agriculture universities come inside promotion of natural farming, what their role is அப்படிங்கிறதும் later பார்ப்போம். So first, to start with, we look at what is natural farming. So இது யாரு who brought out this concept அப்படின்னா Masanobu Fukuoka. He's a Japanese farmer and a philosopher. So he came out with this concept and he has proved this works. Since then, a lot of experiments are being made across India, across the world, and some say it is yes, this is a way forward, but there are some little voices, or some say no, there are some issues with that. So natural farming அப்படின்னா என்னன்னு பார்ப்போம். So he is the one who gave this concept or discovered this. Natural farming is once first organic farming அப்படின்னா என்னன்னு பார்ப்போம். So organic, generally we must have heard, today we use a lot of synthetic fertilizers and pesticides in our farming. For example, urea or potash, phosphorus, etc. Superphosphate எல்லாமே. Now this has, even though it supported our green revolution 60s when we were having a situation where we were leading a ship to mouth situation, Americaல இருந்து grains வந்தாதான் நம்மளால we could feed our population. At that time we introduced green revolution, along, it's called a package technology, that hybrid seeds along with fertilizer, along with pesticides. It was all it's like a package deal. இதெல்லாம் நீங்க யூஸ் பண்ணீங்க அப்படின்னா தான் crops productivity will yield. The green revolution has served us well for last 4-5 decades. Yes, our agriculture production is at an all-time high and it is increasing. We are able to feed our population, even we are able to export it. So we were recently talking about giving some aid to Afghanistan, wheat to Afghanistan, and Pakistan விட மாட்டாங்க சொல்லிட்டு இருந்தாங்க, அதெல்லாம் நியூஸ்ல இருந்தது. So yes, green revolution has been successful, but over the period of time, green revolution has had its problems: water depletion, soil depletion. Whether this will be sustainable for another 100 years, 200 years, or 500 years, we do not know. And green revolution has also put a lot of debt burden on the farmers because all the inputs are costly. So somewhere along the line, we realized let us start promoting organic so that it's at least good for the human health. So organic என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க அப்படின்னா, as opposed to chemical or synthetic fertilizers and pesticide, they will simply use, and the synthetic fertilizer pesticide illama, they will go for natural ones. Now in an organic farming system, you can procure the materials from anywhere. You will again be paying for cow dung or whatever manure, vermicompost, extra. You'll be procuring it from elsewhere. But natural farming, or we can say that it is one step or two steps much higher than organic farming. See, imagine a forest ecosystem. Do you see that there are people or some the one goes and spreads fertilizers, pesticides, but the trees exist, the crops exist, whatever function or whatever it produces, it keeps on producing year by year. Yes, there will be some fluctuations here and there, but the concept keeps on happening year by year. So our in natural farming, we are trying to mimic that system. The underlying philosophy என்ன அப்படின்னு பார்த்தோம்னா nature will take care of itself. நம்மளுக்கு நம்ம போய் இந்த இன்டர்வென்ஷன்ஸ் அதாவது பிளவிங் பிளவிங் டில்லிங் வீடிங் நோ நாட் நீடட் ஃபர்டிலைசர் போடுறது பெஸ்டிசைட் போடுறது இதெல்லாம் நாட் நீடட் naturally that system will know to take care of itself like it has been taking care of itself for thousands and thousands and millions of years. It knows. Now ultimately in a natural farming system, except seeding, you will not do anything else. You will design the ecosystem in such a way that it mimics nature and ultimately it gives a very good produce. So again, I'm repeating. So in a chemical farm or as farming is practiced today, we use synthetic chemicals and fertilizers, and we do all the plowing, towing, seeding, weeding, etc. In organic system, we do all that plowing, weeding, other agriculture practice. But instead of use synthetic fertilizers and pesticides, we will use organic fertilizers and pesticides. Now, natural farming is one step or two steps beyond that, which says everything the farm will take care of itself. You just have to design in the farm in such a way that it mimics nature. So if we can look at the second paragraph, so it's considered as an agroecology based diversified farming. Again, in a forest, you will find that no single species will alone exist. You will find that there's always a mix of hundreds and hundreds of species. So we will be mimicking our farm to resemble a forest. There will never be a monoculture. You will have a crop component, you will have an animal component, you will have bird component, you have honeybees or whatnot. You can have agroforestry. எல்லாமே சேர்ந்து ஒரு diversified system இருக்கும். So which includes crops, trees, livestock with functional biodiversity, and it will use farmyard manure, cow dung, vermicompost, and other natural ingredients instead of all these pesticides and fertilizers. So as we already discussed, organic farming, natural farming பார்த்தோம். Again, in organic farming, plowing, tilling, fertilizers எல்லாமே பண்ணுவாங்க. இதுல எதுவுமே பண்ண மாட்டாங்க. Once you design your farm, the farm or nature will take care of itself. இதுதான் concept of natural farm. Okay, why natural farming? அப்படின்னு பார்த்தோம்னா some green revolution disadvantages நாம் பேசணும். In addition to that, we are giving our fertilizers, the government is giving over 1 lakh crore as fertilizer subsidy, even though this year it has come down, which has been indicated in the first point, but it is still a very, very huge sum. Now, if we are able to achieve this in one way, natural farming, we'll get a lot of benefits. In addition to that, we'll be saving all this money. And there's a lot of leakages which happens. In the previous economic survey, I had explored this. Now, we'll be able to curb those leakages also. And in addition to that, we'll also be in the money, let's say, infrastructure sectors promote பண்ண முடியும். Which is one. So there have been various studies and tests that says that Indian rivers are very polluted. And pollution is one of the very important reasons for fertilizers and pesticide use. Whatever, especially along the river banks, is being used, either it goes into the groundwater or it leaches into the river water. Again, once it is going and reaching a pond or it's reaching a river, it will promote eutrophication, and that eutrophication is not usually good for a body ultimately, and the water body will die. So like Punjab area பார்த்தோம்னா salinization has been promoted. Salinization has resulted in too much use of agriculture, over irrigation. It has promoted poor soil nutrition content and promoted soil depletion. How long will the soil support அப்படிங்கிறது it's a question mark. Next, in natural farming, as you can see முன்னாடி பார்த்தோம், the plowing, tilling நம்ம பண்ண மாட்டோம். Now when you are doing that, it will cause a lot of transpiration. So in natural farming, it will save a lot of water. Now in India, where we are facing a water crisis recently, different cities, for example, in Chennai, a drought was there, I think 1 or 2 years back. So that shows the importance of water that we have. It's still Rayalaseema, Vidarbha, எல்லாமே very drought prone regions. So in all these regions, it will help you to save a lot of water. And next, the ecosystem itself will develop. It is not one particular monoculture. The ecosystem, entire thing will flourish and it will take care of itself. So as we said, in the organic ponalo, synthetic farming or regular farming ponalo, farmer he has to buy a lot of inputs from outside. And when a crop fails, this has resulted in creating a debt burden and at times also farmer suicides. So I think before a few years, some statistics said that around 10,000 farmers are committing suicide in a year. So in the debt burden, நம்மளால இது பண்ண முடியும். And plus organic, you will know, organic நாலே நமக்கு அடுத்து one of the இது வரது வந்து other than health, it's the price. So here, doubling farmers' income on the goal when we are moving towards it, this will definitely help them set a premium price for their market products. Next, debt burden pays no, and diversified farming. As we said, there will not be any single component for in natural farming. You will have animal, you will have a crop, you will have the poultry, you will have honeybee, and many more other components are there. Now, one idea is, or one very good advantage of this system is, one crop fails, the farmer will be able to reap money, or he'll be able to protect himself with some other system. And by nature, whenever you are going for a very diversified set of crops, it has proven that ecosystem or that particular area ecosystem will become more resilient to any disturbances by nature. So there are a lot of advantages that is to be reaped from natural farming. Seri, then why don't we go for it? Abdin Patamna. So this is a clipping. The first thing is a clipping from a newspaper where a farmer has said, yes, I have tried it, but it has, in the initial stage, it has become very difficult. My yields are fluctuating. Now, what will I do for that period? I'm not very rich. How can I sustain? And even some farmers are even saying that I tried it and it failed and I again moved back to this. So this again, you will find it in different newspaper articles. See, this is one challenge that needs to be definitely looked at. Like scientific validation, even though there are a lot of articles or scientific publications exist proving the validity of this, we know government should promote still more R&D, and ultimately we must come up with a single system or a single authority. Yes, this is success. இது இப்படிதான் பண்ணணும். These are some of the pitfalls. This is how we should navigate. அப்படின்ற ஒரு இது scientific clarity we need. Now, once this clarity is needed, this has to be dissipated among the farmers. Now, farmers, how will you dissipate them? We already have a good KVK structure, Kishan Vidya Kendras across the country. Now, they must be equipped to pass on the technology, pass on the knowledge in all of these across farmers. So, and yes, as farmers has to become more aware of all this so that they can adapt. Now, here, in both scientific research, R&D, and in training and promoting extension centers, agriculture universities have a major play. They can do all of these things. Agriculture University in Coimbatore, in natural farming, they are promoting some of these products like cow-based urine, in the many products, manure, pesticide, they have been manufacturing and they are selling it. So that farmers, initially, they don't find it very difficult and they can try for use in their field and they can see that it is actually working. So agriculture universities is a very important part is there. So in the challenges meet we need again R&D, training and extension. This has to expand. KVKs, agriculture university have to do their job. Now, in this initial time, when a farmer is moving towards organic, there will be fluctuations in yield. He'll be struggling, income varadu. In the period la support பண்றதுக்காக, yes, we do have a scheme, Parampagat Krishi Vikas Yojana. So in the scheme பத்தி இன்னும் நிறைய farmers கிட்ட தெரியணும். Government can increase the support so that it reaches a majority players. And also there's organic certification, rendu certifications இருக்கு இந்தியால. And the one certification is National Program of Organic Certification, which is a bit time consuming and a lengthy process. Now, it will be pertinent if we can simplify this process and also equip farmers more so that they can undergo this process. So ultimately, we will be having a healthy food. Farmers will be ridden of their debt, and ultimately we can export the products also, and they will be, even inside the country, they will be getting a heavy price. And among all this, one particular very important question in natural farming that people ask is, can it support this huge population? World population is already, when it is only going to increase, it is not going to decrease. The answer is yes, it can. But however, we need to do all this so that even the consumers are fed and farmers are also happy. So that's all about this video. You can go on and read some articles and do some research on your own. So that's all. Thank you guys.